began to change. And even the people who out of goodwill will have helped before are also facing some kind of struggles or the other. I remember when I was young, we used to have young girls, and I think it's still there now, make masa or kose, that is a bean cake, move around with it with almajiris. And wherever they go, people out of their goodwill will say, okay, sell them, sell each one of them, then maybe for 5 naira rice. So nobody buys from, apart from it is meant for those almajiri. People who afford these things. But over time, the world is evolving. I think the system too needs to change. It needs to change. It does. The originators of that system did it in line with the conditions of that period. So for now, the almajiri system of education, to me, is more like it leans more
to child abuse.
To child abuse than education. Because if you look at these kids, what time do they educate? You see them from morning to night roaming about.
Yes.
So
and when they get back in the night, because somebody in Yola some years back, when he was being quizzed, he said they normally recite the Quran in the night. But the person interviewing him asked, these children roam the streets in the daytime. In the night, they're always asleep. They're tired. They don't even have the energy to do any recitation of the Quran. So, and at times the scholar, in quotes, the Quranic scholar, in quotes, would prefer them to bring cash instead of
food items.
So he preferred cash. So at times you begin to question.
And then you ask myself, how will what they recite have an impact on their life if all through the day they've gone through, they've participated in some very, very unholy behavior, they fought along the way, nobody questions them, no moral training, nothing. Whatever they read won't sink, because the holy books are there to guide us. But we as humans must also ensure that we guide these kids in the right direction. Just reading the holy books is not enough. It's not enough, because they have to practicalize it. And if there is no parents, no guardian, nobody to put them through the practicalizing of this, of what the holy books are prescribed, you'll find out that they become fanatics, or they become half-baked. They have half-baked knowledge of what they've recited or what they crammed.
Okay, now let's take a look at the Punch, the cover news on the Punch. Okay, let's look at the other headline at the top right corner of the Punch. Tinubu, governors and other pay tributes to ex-presidential spokesman Okupe.
Dr. Doyin Okupe, do you know, I found out that Dr. Doyin Okupe was a medical doctor.
Okay.
And he used to run a very good practice in Lagos.
All right.
Before he decided to go into politics.
Okay.
And while into politics, he was into strategy. He was known as a strategist in SDP, later joined the UNDP during the Abacha years, where he had those 5, where Bola Ige said he had those 5 lepers, and that the parties are 5 parties, there are 5 leprous fingers of a leprous hand. So, and he later became someone who became the spokesperson for the president. He was the person that popularized this present way in which media aides are seen as attack dogs. He did it for President Olusegun Obasanjo. If you come at his principle, he comes at you hard. Before then, years of military rule, we didn't have a need for the president the head of states to have a media aides that attacks people, because just the fact that the CNC is enough to put everybody in place, and a visit by the jackboots at night will ensure that you don't go beyond your boundaries. So when he came, he was the one that popularized the system of being an attack dog, and to a point that he was called an attack lion, no longer a dog. And if you see that when he began to use that system, other media aides began to copy that, and other governors and even ministers and senators began to employ people who can quickly respond to issues. head-to-head, tit-for-tat. So I can say he's the godfather of this present media age of attacking your, and he did it well. And he worked for Obasanjo. He worked for Goodluck Jonathan. I was a spokesperson, I think, head of media for
Peter Obi.
Peter Obi. He has been in the PDP. He has been in the Labour Party. And recently, you could see that he's beginning to lean towards our President Tinubu. He's somebody that I will say he stood for what he believed in.
Yeah.
And whatever he believed in, he does not shy away from standing by it. Today, he might be on the left side. He speaks for that left side like his life depends on it. And if he has a conviction that now the right is what is good for him, he also speaks towards that direction. So rest in peace to Chief Doyin Okupe. He's someone that is respected in the political scene, and may he so rest in peace.
Yes, our condolences from this platform to the family of late Chief Dr. Doyin Okupe. Now, we take on the major headline that is on the cover page of the Saturday Punch. It said, Natasha's suspension, federal government intervenes as female coalition threatens shutdown. We are engaging parties to temper justice with mercy, says Women Affairs Minister. Is it this statement is right for this situation, tempering justice with mercy?
Yes, every justice, there is nothing wrong in tempering justice with mercy, because the purpose of justice is not only punitive, is to rehabilitate, is corrective in nature. That is why even the prisons have been changed. They are no longer, they are not correctional center. The purpose is not just to punish the person, but to see that the person have a change of ways. And if the person shows enough evidence that the person is remorseful, it can be pardoned. And that is why even the president and even judges have this prerogative of pardon.
Okay, let me just interject a little bit before you continue. If you mention how if the person shows remorse, now does it make any sense for you to begin to agitate for mercy on a person that has not shown any remorse?
Well, in this case, I think she didn't commit a crime in quote. What she did, what she was charged for was that she broke the rules of the Senate. Now, there are ways in which this can be looked at. She has broken the rules. There is no law that said that you should not plead for someone that breaks the rule. They can plead for her. The Senate can look into the matter again, look for other ways of correcting her, not this suspension. And people will wait them simply because her suspension is not, she who will suffer most from the suspension are the good people of Kogi Central, whom she represents. So because of the good people of Kogi Central, there may be, people might be of the opinion that, please don't let us throw away the baby.
And the bathwater.
And the bathwater and the baby. So why don't we just forgive her of this misdemeanor or this thing? But I'm sure before she'll be forgiven, there must be some level of remorse being shown by her. And there's also a window that was created for her by the Senate in which they agreed that if she comes back, write an apology, they will look into a matter and the suspension may be lifted or reduced. And there are few people who have spoken, even women groups are already speaking up for her. And even the minister, the Women's Affairs Minister said there is an unfortunate incident that should happen, that there were 9 female senators in the last assembly, but now they have 3, and they can't afford to have one of those 3 not being there in the House as to represent women. So she's already agitating, and the president, from what I heard, is also being called upon, or he has begun moves to ensure that they wade in and try to look for a political situation to the whole situation.
Okay, do we have a precedence to this where report has it that Senator Ali Ndume previously has been suspended by the Senate? He went to the court and obtained a judgment that declared his suspension null and void, and other factors, just like you mentioned earlier. The person suffering this from the suspension of the senator is mostly, predominantly her constituent from Kogi State. So what do you think,
Well,
considering whether there is a precedence or not?
If I'm not mistaken, there have been over 5 or 6. Started with Joseph Waku in the year 2000 when he accused his Joseph Waku of Benue State, who accused his fellow senators of collecting bribe. And we've had other senators like that, Omar Agege, Aline Dume. And Aline Dume went to court in 2017 and got a judgment nullifying his suspension, and he was returned, and all his emolument was paid to him. And we've also seen cases whereby they go on suspension, they come back, and in some cases, I think, I'm not so sure, but I think there's a case, 1 or 2, whereby the suspension was suspended and the person returned back due to some political arrangement, and maybe he has shown some remorse or something like that. So there are precedents to this, and there are cases, even if there are no precedents, you can always use this to set a precedent. So the windows for her to come back is wide open. It is left for the players in all this to sit down and look at how they can explore those windows, and then we have Natasha back into the house. But most importantly, she must also toe the path of which we allow it will make it easy for her to be received back by her colleagues, because it is quite instructive to note that none of the 3 female senators spoke for her.
Yes, somehow.
The opposition parties, the senators in the opposition, they didn't speak for her. And if you look at the voice vote, the eyes were always having it when it comes to so there's something that is strange to me, and I think we need to look at that. But that notwithstanding, the issue of sexual harassment, she should pursue it either within the Senate or in the court of law. That should not be swept under the carpet. And thankfully, even the wife of
President Tinubu,
the wife of
Godswill
Akpabio have gone to court to sue. So this case, let them take it through the appropriate authorities. That issue has nothing to do with a suspension case. Let them separate the case of a suspension due to breaking Senate rules from the harassment allegations she made. Nigerians need to know. One.
But so, before you continue, I think I stand to be corrected, but I think I heard the Senate President mentioning on TV that the Senate rule is part of the Nigerian law.
Yes.
Now, if there are precedents where a senator obtained a judgment from the court which declared that his suspension was null and void, though the basis for the suspensions may differ.
Yeah.
I think, is it proper to say, as a senator, the Senate cannot suspend a senator? If, if there are precedents like that.
I don't want to speak on that because I don't have enough information to, and I don't have the legal, information to speak on that. But concerning the harassment case, she is not going to sue the National Assembly for harassment.
Yes.
She's not going to sue the office of the Senate President. She's suing the person.
Yes, of
Mr. Godswill Akpabio. So there will be no issue of you will not be having a case with the National Assembly, but we're having a case with Chief Godswill Akpabio as a person, as a citizen, as a Nigerian.
And she mentioned how before she just left when the suspension was announced, she had to talk to the microphone and say this injustice will not be sustained. She will go to court and other things.
She should go to court. I was even surprised that she hasn't filed the case of harassment in court against Godswill Akpabio, but I think maybe she will do that now. Nigerians need to know, need to find out if actually there was harassment or not.
If she decides not to go to court, what do you think will happen?
I will be disappointed with her.
All right. We have been discussing with Abraham Maina Joda on this platform where he's making in-depth analysis of trending issues as they are on the cover pages of the Nigerian newspaper. We're now going to move on to the Weekend Trust. that is the weekend version of the Daily Trust. And the major headline on the Weekend Trust is parochialism or incompetence. Experts analyze Tinubu's economic team.
I think you should take that. You should do some analysis and let me get your perspective on that.
Well, I think that they're talking about how the economic team of Tinubu is not competent enough to be able to solve the myriads of economic challenge in Nigeria. And it is based on that this report is asserting that is it the issue of parochialism in the sense that maybe the appointment were done based on sentiment or based on the fact that it is predominantly a political thing, and the fact that experts should be hired to man those responsibilities was not taken into consideration. So this report, I think, is making an analysis of whether the challenges we're having now as a nation as concerning our economy is based on parochialism or incompetence.
Okay. For me, I would say the problems we're having now, one, is due to our past actions or inactions. Two, our present actions or inactions. Let us focus on our present actions or inactions. Some of the issues we have with the economy now is largely due to the removal of fuel subsidy. And
which Nigeria will have still experienced, whether it is Tinubu that is the president.
It will have experienced. That's based on what they all said. And even based on, as at that time, there was no budget beyond John. Said maybe there will be an appropriation. And from what I heard from all the major presidential, none of them, they all knew to continue subsidy, you will have to go into heavy borrowing. And they knew one of the bane of the past government was borrowing. So I stand to be corrected. All the major presidential candidates, if they had won, they will have also removed subsidy. But I don't know if they will remove it immediately or another subsidy is gone the way President Tinubu announced things. And also the issue of defending the Naira, floating of the Naira. For years, the Naira has been subsidized against the dollar. We've been using money to the point of even borrowing to hedge the Naira against the dollar. It was a very bold and ambitious step. I wouldn't say if it was the right one, but it was bold and it was ambitious. Maybe he could have done it in other ways, I don't know. But what I can say is that the results are deep-reaching, and it has very, very grave effect on the Nigerian economy. But if you look at it gradually, the economy is beginning to take shape. We're beginning to adjust to the new realities. What we need now is to sustain it. And also to bring in maybe more people to look at the economy beyond the direction in which both the CBN and the economic team of the president is looking at it now. We need more hands, or fresh hands, in running the economy. It is not yet rule. Much more needs to be done. But I think, to be fair to the president, he has taken some very, very hard decisions that eventually Nigeria will take, whether we like it or not. One day subsidy must go. One day the issue of defending Naira is going to stop. He has taken those decisions. What he needs to do is to sustain it with very good policies. And again, where I will fault him, some of his ministers are doing
actually very
well, but some I really can, maybe probably because I have not focused on what they are doing. I don't really see what they are doing. I think he needs to also rejig his cabinet.
Or his economic team.
Well, the economic team, I wouldn't want them to go. What I would just need is maybe more people, because they understand the direction they're coming from, so that you don't just upturn the apple cart and then someone comes and then begin to... The economic team, after some time, you're beginning to see that, yes, something is happening.
Okay, as a public affairs commentator,
yes,
and as a critic that you are giving the economic team of Tinubu a thumbs up?
I've not given it a thumbs up.
Yet.
I've not given it a thumbs up.
Shall I add yet?
Yet.
Okay.
But I'm not sure of who is bringing in. So I think what you need is to maybe bring in more people, have more minds look at this. You may take away these same people, but the factors still remain, and the person that comes will eventually do even worse. Let him just bring in more people. Let them look at the economy from other perspectives. Let them widen their horizon, because it seems these teams are more of the microeconomic, they are more of microeconomists than macro. I think that is what we need to look at. But some of his ministers have performed below expectation, because you don't really need to see what they're doing. It should be visible to the people. The sectors should be changing. And like the case of the Minister of Interior, it is visible to all that is working, because the duration of getting a passport, the process of getting a passport now is as easy, it's as simple as ABC. Corruption, touting has been removed from it.
That is, what's the name?
The Minister of Olujimi.
Okay.
The Minister of...
Is it okay, I saw some people giving the credit to the Minister of Aviation.
No, it's not. The Minister of Aviation has nothing to do with the procurement of passports. It's under the Ministry of Immigration.
Okay, I think I saw one report that somebody just landed at the airport and all...
No, that is a different thing from the passport. I think that is the Ministry of Aviation, Keyamo, is talking about movements, the process of traveling in our airports and international airports have also improved.
Yes.
I think Keyamo is also doing something in that area, that there's ease, and it has been digitalized. Yes. So the area of queuing at the airport is no longer there. That is a different thing from that of the passports, procurement of passports and renewal of passports. They are two different things. There are some bits of good stories there, but generally, I will still give the president 4/10.
Okay, 4/10.
Yes.
Well, that's a pass mark.
That's a pass. Yes, let my people go.
Okay. Now, I want us to look at something. If we're going to use the method of administering drugs in the hospital to analyze the economic policy of President Tinubu, he removes, he said, subsidy is gone. Then shortly after, the floating of Naira, shortly after, so many policies that are having serious adverse impact on the economy and the society. Don't you think that is an overdose? Administering the drugs in such a way is overdose and may end up killing or suffocating the patient. Maybe, don't you think he will have used another method of bringing, treating the sickness in a prescription that will come slowly, though it will cause pain, but the pain will not be as much as it stands now.
Okay, now let me speak. Okay, let me just say, okay, in his favor. No, I'm not saying that is what. Let me just.
You're not holding forth.
I'm not holding forth for him. I just want to say, okay, let's use the example of probably maybe a child who's afraid of injection. You want to give injection? No, he will cry. He will do this. The injection, you have to hold him, and you have to be careful so that the injection don't break, and this and that. And you decide to you give him drugs. You say, no, it is too bitter. He doesn't like this. He may throw up. He may do this. He may do that. It may give him some psychological trauma. And somebody just come. For how long we will continue to manage this child like this? Why don't you once and for all
treat him?
Treat him, irrespective of whether he likes it. He will cry or he will not cry. Then the person comes, tell the people, hold him. Gives him 3 or 4 injections. give him his the very, very bitter drugs that he did not want to take. And then he goes into a seizure and begins to shake. And the person tells you, don't worry.
He will soon be fine.
He will soon be fine. Don't worry. He won't die. He will soon be fine. He just needs this strong dose in order to start to go deep into his system and flush out what is wrong. I think maybe that is what the president did. And after some time, the child is still sick. But we're beginning to see signs of improvement gradually. In this case, gradually. Now, when you say, should we change the economic team? Maybe somebody will come, I know somebody somewhere, just the way I know a doctor somewhere. If you take him there, he's going to also say, I know this way to get these local apps, that if they give it to him, it will do. You may go there, and it may reverse. So what I'm suggesting that since these doctors are
actually doing something,
you can bring in more consultants, you can bring in more doctors, let them join heads together, rather than taking out of the hand of this doctor and giving it to another person. So I think that is the way I view the economy. There will be a time whereby we will need to take these bitter pills. And I think Nigerians have taken it now. What we need to do is to sustain it. And we shouldn't let politics allow us to deviate from the fact that Nigeria has to move from a consumption economy to a production economy.
Now that brings us to the point where we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to continue with the discussions on the cover pages of other newspapers. Please, don't go away.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
What if I told you there's a cab service you can book right now in Jalingo? Sounds like a dream, right? No, it's reality. Let Supercab get you transported to anywhere you want to go in Jalingo, and let them also run your errands for you while you sit at the comfort of your home. And guess what? It is affordable, reliable and fast. They run a 24-hour service. You can click the link attached to this video to download the app, or you can also download the app on Play Store. I'm so excited for this, and I know you are too. Use Supercab today and be happy. Bye. What if I told you there's a cab service you can book right now in Jalingo? Sounds like a dream, right? No, it's real.
Hey Taraba State, let's ascend to the future. Imagine a world where entertainment, transportation, finance and commerce are at your fingertips 24/7. Welcome to the future. Taraba Business School and Taraba News proudly present a revolutionary lineup of products and services designed to transform your life. Som TV, your premier 24/7 destination for local and international entertainment, news and educational content. Come to the broadcast of News Hour on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of World News on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of news across Nigeria on Super Media Television.
This is Sport Daily on Som TV. Good morning, Nigeria. This is the morning show from Som TV.
Supercab, safe, convenient and affordable 24/7 transportation services across Jalingo and Taraba State. Unlock seamless 24/7 financial transactions, easy loans, and rewarding savings with our innovative mobile banking solution. Taraba Online Market. Buy and sell local and exotic products. Connect with suppliers and grow your businesses 24/7 with our vibrant e-commerce platform. TBS e-learning. Access a wall of knowledge with our comprehensive online courses and myriad of professional programs. SuperSoft. Unlock exclusive subscription-based services, discounts, and reward. Don't miss this groundbreaking products and services. Join us as we all celebrate in the future and experience the future today. Taraba Business School and Taraba News, empowering your future 24/7. Ascend to the future.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do you do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC. The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call
What if I told you there's a cab service you can book right now in Jalingo? Sounds like a dream, right? No, it's reality. Let Supercab get you transported to anywhere you want to go in Jalingo, and let them also run your errands for you while you sit at the comfort of your home. And guess what? It is affordable, reliable, and fast. They run a 24-hour service. You can click the link attached to this video to download the app, or you can also download the app on Play Store. I'm so excited for this, and I know you are too. Use Supercab today and be happy. Bye. What if I told you there's a cab service you can book right now in Jalingo? Sounds like a dream, right? No, it's reality. Let Supercab get you transported to anywhere you want to go in Jalingo, and let them also run your errands for you while you sit at the comfort of your home. And guess what? It is affordable, reliable, and fast. They run a 24-hour service. You can click the link attached to this video to download the app, or you can also download the app on Play Store. I'm so excited for this, and I know you are too. Use Supercab today and be happy. Bye.
if you are just joining us, this has been The Morning Show, your darling breakfast television program coming to you from Some TV. And we've been discussing with Abraham Joda Maina, who is a public affairs commentator here. We're not going to go into stories that are on the cover pages of Taraba News newspaper. We're going to start with the story coming with the headline, Honorable AM lawyer brings succor to constituents amidst economic hardship.
Yes, the story spoke about Honorable AM lawyer, the representative of Ardokola, Karim Lamido, Alao Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives. He has been lauded for his unwavering commitment to the welfare of his constituency, because recently lawyer distributed valuable items including food and clothing to his constituents as part of his Ramadan honorarium initiative. Lawyer lauded for his unwavering commitment to the welfare of his constituents despite the prevailing economic challenges. Has continued to provide support to his people, earning widespread appreciation and admiration. Recently distributed valuable items including food and clothing to his constituents as part of his Ramadan honorarium initiative. The items which included rice, spaghetti, macaroni, oil, garments, wrappers and blankets. They were shared and transported to various local government areas within his constituency. This gesture has brought relief to many families who are struggling to make ends meet amidst the economy downtown. So the welfare, just like it says, is not limited to the Ramadan honorarium initiative only. As a first-time lawmaker from the opposition PDP, he has also, according to report, achieved remarkable feats, securing hundreds of permanent and pensionable employment opportunities for his constituents.
Okay, we now move on to the stories that has to do with miners. Taraba State Miners Association commends Governor Kefas for appointing special advisor on mineral resource developments.
It's a good one that the miners see a need to commend the governor, and also it's quite instructive that they feel that the appointment made by the governor in the area of mining is a good one. So because if they are comfortable with the appointments made by the governor in the mining sector, that means that yes, we can expect collaboration and cooperation between the government and the miners for us to achieve our potentials in the mining sector. So this is just the beginning, and I think more like this, to me, I feel there's still a lot to be done concerning the mining industry. We need to look for a way to ensure that the mining is done in such a way that the state will benefit from it. And we also need some form of transparency in the mining sector. As it stands now, we don't know how much. Where I stand to be corrected, we need to understand what is being mined out of Taraba. What quantity? What is the value? Who are those responsible? We know those responsible. The tax was, but what are the taxes that have been paid on this? What is the revenue that has been generated from this? Who are those involved in this mining? What are the conditions that you need to fulfill to become a miner? Also about the gradation of the environment. What is being done to protect the environment? These are things that we really need to look into. And I think with these special advisors on mining and the fact that the miners themselves believe that these people are competent people, we should be able to improve the mining sector in Taraba State.
Yes, this to bring to your notice out there that before we draw the curtains for this morning edition of Morning Show, we're going to have yet another more elaborate discussion on this headline. We will get back to it later. But now we're going to move on to the headline that talks about story on the PDP. We have a story coming from the PDP where it says Taraba PDP chairman emphasized party loyalty and unity. Talking about the story that said the state PDP chairman Alhaji Abubakar Bawa received a thank you visit from some former or present members of the political party?
Just like we know in party politics, loyalty is key. Loyalty is very, very important in our party loyalties, and it is not out of place for the chairman of the PDP to ask for loyalty within the PDP in the state. And they also comment on the background of the fact that at the national level, this disloyalty and also acrimony between factions of the party is drawing the party apart. But the chairman of the Taraba State PDP has shown experience, has shown leadership, and has shown that, yes, he is capable, and PDP in Taraba, I think, should be one of the strongest in terms of organizational ability, and also set of political strength. They should be one of the strongest in Nigeria, one of the best run in terms of an administration of party politics. So it is a good one that is still re-emphasizing the place of loyalty to the party. Because once people are loyal to the party, they will be able to do away with selfish interests for the common good of the party and the state at large.
Okay, we now take a news cover on Minister of Education. Dr. Augustina meets with board members, call for smooth working relationships.
Yeah, smooth working relationship is always good. It's always good for between board members and the commissioner, and I think Dr. Augustina did the right thing here, as she's the commissioner for basic and secondary education, Taraba State, and she had a familiarization meeting with the chairman, members, and special advisors of boards and parastars under basic education. The boards are the Post-Primary Schools Management Board, State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, Library Board, and Mass Education Board. And just like in the opening remarks, the permanent secretary, Alhaji Idris Goji, joyfully felicitated with the board members on the appointment, adding that under the leadership of His Excellency Dr. Abu Kifas, the education sector has witnessed a significant growth and change. And they also act on the free education in more than 2,000 public primary schools and more than 3,000 public primary schools. On the other hand, Dr. Godwin stated that the education sector has been enjoying synergies and good working relationship in implementing the free and compulsory education declared by His Excellency Dr. Abu Kifas. So she charged the board members to demonstrate unwavering commitment to duty and study the rules that governs their respective portfolios to discharge their responsibility, while noting that alone one goes faster, but together they can go far. I think that is the instruction. That is the major thing I pick from that. It's a good one. Alone you can go fast, but together they can go far.
Yes, we'll still go for yet another commercial break here. When we come back, we're going to continue with another segment of Morning Show. It is promising to be very, very exciting. Please, don't go away.
Let's ascend to the future. Imagine a world where entertainment, transportation, finance, and commerce are at your fingertips 24/7. Welcome to the future. Taraba Business School and Taraba News proudly present a revolutionary lineup of products and services designed to transform your life. Sun TV, your premier 24/7 destination for local and international entertainment, news, and educational content. Come to the broadcast of News Hour on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of World News on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of news across Nigeria on Super Media Television.
This is Sport Daily on Sun TV. Good morning, Nigeria. This is the morning show from Sun TV.
Supercab, safe, convenient, and affordable 24/7 transportation services across Jalingo and Taraba State. unlock seamless 24/7 financial transactions, easy loans, and rewarding savings with our innovative mobile banking solution. Taraba Online Markets. Buy and sell local and exotic products. Connect with suppliers and grow your businesses 24/7 with our vibrant e-commerce platform. TBS e-learning. Access a wall of knowledge with our comprehensive online courses and myriad of professional programs. SuperSub. Unlock exclusive subscription-based services, discounts, and reward. Don't miss this groundbreaking products and services. Join us as we all celebrate in the future and experience the future today. Taraba Business School and Taraba News, empowering your future 24/7. Ascend to the future.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is the segment of the morning show where we discuss issues that are trending in Taraba State and the Northeast. And we're going to go now to the story from the cover page of Taraba News that talk about Taraba State strengthens governance through monitoring and evaluation workshop. Mr. Abraham.
Well, this workshop was held from February 27 to 2025 at the Team Royal Hotel in Jalingo, where it was the Taraba State government in collaboration with the Close Resources Limited organized a 2-day workshop on monitoring and evaluation for government policies, projects, and programs. The workshop brought together top government officials, including members of the state Executive Council, the House of Assembly, Permanent Secretary, Auditor General, Director General, and judicial officers. The event was themed strengthening monitoring and evaluation practices in Taraba State Public Service for enhanced service delivery, and it was designed to equip participants with the requisite knowledge, skills, and best practices for efficient policy implementation and governance. So it was the state governor that declared the events open, and he underscored the significance of monitoring and evaluation in ensuring the success of government initiatives. He also emphasized that for policies and programs to have meaningful impact on the people, there must be an effective framework for monitoring their progress and evaluating their outcomes. The governor also reaffirmed his administration's commitment to accountability, transparency, and efficiency, stressing that the well-monitored projects yield better results and contribute to sustainable development. He also portrayed that monitoring and evaluation are critical in identifying gaps, challenges, and opportunities, thereby enabling the government to make informed decisions and improve service delivery. So I think it's a very good one, and we need to have more of these interactions and trainings. And one of the critical gaps identified during the workshop was a lack of comprehensive monitoring and evaluation framework for the state, that is M&E. While efforts are already underway to develop an M&E policy, participants emphasized the need to accelerate this process. They noted that without a well-defined framework, it will be difficult to harmonize monitoring and evaluation efforts across different government agencies. All in all, if you look at this, I think we are going in the right directions. We need to begin to look at how to train, reskill, and upskill the civil service. And I think one way or the other, we are going to see the impact of some of this training in some of the policy implementation in the state.
Yes. So we'll go to the next story in Taraba News newspaper that talks about Peace Building Bureau holds inaugural meeting expressing commitment to run with the KEFAS-led administration's vision for peace in Taraba State.
The Taraba State Bureau for Peace and Conflict Management, they had their inaugural meeting on the 7th of March 2025. The meeting was chaired by the Right Reverend Dr. Innocent Rubiruka Solomon, and it was held at the I&S Foundation for World Peace Abuja Phase 2 Jalingo. The chairman, that is Reverend Innocent Rubiruka Solomon, congratulated members for the appointment by the Excellency Dr. Abu Kefas. the executive governor of Taraba State, and he charged members of the Bureau to demonstrate vision, commitment, and dedication to the trust and opportunity given them by the KEFAS-led administration. So the chairman of the Bureau recalled the Excellency's speech during the inauguration of boards, chairs, SAs, SSA, and CSA, and told the board members that government expect the Bureau to function with utmost sense of responsibility, integrity, and integrity of heart and dedication to duty, noting that the KEFAS State Administration is poised to serve, build, and uplift Tarabans with peace and progress as critical components. And I can but agree with the chairman of the Bureau for Peace, because peace is essential for development and growth in the state. Once there's peace within the state, then we'll be able to sit down and have meaningful discussions on how to move the state forward. So it's a good one, and it's a call once again to Tarabans to embrace peace, just like the chairman of the board, Reverend Solomon, emphasized in his speech.
Now, considering the fact that peace is very important for every society to develop, just like you mentioned, and there are these instances in this part of the world, in Taraba State and in Nigeria, where most of the time some of these organizations only react. They are not proactive in seeing to it that things that may degenerate into crisis are not taken into cognizance. They only react after a crisis has erupted, then they start mediation and other things like that. What is your assessment of how this particular set of people will be advised to be proactive, seeing to it that crisis and tensions are nipped at the bud, and how they can go about it?
Yes, I think that is one of the reasons why this inauguration of this Peace Bureau board members gladdens my heart, because now their job is cut out. It is not it is not going to be, it is something that they have to be proactive. They have to look at situations before it degenerates. They wade into the situation and ensure that the warring parties or those that may go into war, there's a mediation before it escalates into conflicts or crisis. It has been looked into. That it is very important for them to be proactive. And I think if from what I see from the chairman is raring to go, and that's why it's calling all the board members. So we'll call on the state government to support them, to give them all the necessary support. But most importantly, for them to succeed, the people of Taraba must ensure that they want to live in peace with one another. It makes their job easier, because no matter the peaceful mediation that is brought, no matter the initiative about peace, if the people don't want to live in peace, even if you enforce, maybe through the military you enforce peace, it will be peace of the graveyard. It is not peace at that time, because people won't be able to go about their lawful business in a relaxed environment. So it still falls back to every one of us. What the Peace Bureau can do is to complement the fact that we want to live peacefully with one another. But if we don't want to live peacefully with one another, there's nothing, whether it's a 50-man peace committee, can really do. If I decide that on the screen, live on air like this, I want to take up, probably maybe you said something to me that I didn't like, and I punched your face. How can the Peace Bureau envisage the fact that I hold a grudge against you and I'm going to punch your face on this show? And you also decide that, okay, by next week, Monday, when we're on the morning show, you are going to ensure that you also give me a punch to the nose. There is no way. If there's a peace, if there's a peace committee in this organization, there's no way we envisage that move that we're going to take. But if we decide that, well, you've done this to me, I let bygones be bygones. Please don't let it. And I say, oh, sorry. I say sorry, and we'll move on. You see that to make the work of the peace committee in-house to be effective. So we as Tarabans must ensure that we prioritize peace.
Now, take a look at the last paragraph of that news report. It caught my attention. One of the issues in that paragraph talks about in Taraba State networking with local government administrators, CSOs, NGOs, religious organizations, and others like that. Now, my point is, there is this system, this thing we call alarm system. Alarm system in this situation where, for instance, in your house, you set up some alarms in such a way that when there is a trespass, the alarm will be triggered and it alerts you that the boundary has been tampered with. Now, how do you think this bureau now can set up those kind of structure in various local government so that even before a situation becomes something that police will have to be deployed to go and maintain peace and order because of communal crisis, tribal crisis, and other things like that, there should be a system where even among communities, even among wards, they should have a kind of an alarm system installed in persons, in facilities, so that they will have a particular feedback from those agents.
I think, first of all, we're a society that respects our tradition, and we're also a society that respects our religious beliefs. I think we should explore these two areas. If you look at it, an average Taraban or average Nigerian respects the traditional stool. So we should ensure that the traditional rulers, the traditional institutions are part of this peace initiative, because they are the closest to the people. They are the ones, as a matter of fact, most of the crises that degenerate into something that has a traditional angle to it. If there is no traditional angle to it, if it's financial, after some time it fizzles and go. But once it has to do with traditions and culture, my people, your people, it is harder.
The issue of land.
The issue of land, the issue of
boundaries,
the issue of traditional chieftaincy and the rest of it. So if we involve the traditional institutions, most of the major crisis starts from at the traditional level. Then also the religious leader. We listen. Every one of us is a member of one religion or the other. If we are not, some of us are passive, some are active members, some are passive members. But we tend to listen to our religious leaders. So we should also carry these religious organizations along. Then we also have what we call socio-cultural organizations. We also have like peer group organizations. We have community organizations. We have the landlord associations. We have associations like this that are socio-cultural in nature. We should also ensure that we engage these people in peace building, and they should be put to proper use, and they should be the ones that will sense, be like an alarm system that gauge the peace level of wherever society they find themselves, and quickly report such or quickly mediate in such things. You know, a conflict between you and I, if we belong to the same age grade organization, they can mediate into it even before we go to the courts. If it is a conflict between you and I, and we are Christians or Muslims, we can take it to the church, or take it to the mosques, or take it to our religious leaders, and they will speak to us, use the holy books to speak to us. And I think we might reach a peaceful resolution with that, without going to court or without going into fisticuffs. So these are some of the things, the mechanisms I think they must be put in place, must be empowered for us to achieve peace in this part of the country.
I think before we go to another headline, can you explain or maybe bear your mind on the aspect where it is true that times change and the ways of men must change with time. We have this issue of settlers and indigenes crisis bedeviling this part of the world and this country at large. Though everybody will try to claim this is our ancestral land, but you will forget to remember that as the society develops, as the world becomes a global village, at times what they call settlers become indigenes. Because there are, even in the Nigerian constitution, there is a period of time that if you're stayed in a place, you become an indigene. There are citizenship by birth and other factors like that. But most of these crises don't take cognizance, take some of these things into cognizance. So in the process of religious leaders preaching their sermons or public awareness campaigners trying to disseminate their messages, they seem to miss out on this awareness in most instances. And this has been one of the causative factors for crisis. What do you think?
Well, I don't think anybody germinated from the land. We all came to settle where we are one time or the other. So if we look at it, we are all settlers wherever we find ourselves. But when there are some are settled longer than the others, we need to respect the fact that the earth is of the Lord and its fullness. And what point is the land if there is no peace? So whether you're a settler or an indigent, you need development, you need peace, you need growth, you need security for you to prosper. So with this spirit of brotherliness, there shouldn't be division of this is our own, you are not part of us. It leads to nowhere. There is no society on earth that develop without people coming from outside to settle there. You need outsiders to be part of it. As a matter of fact, it has been proven that most of the most developed cities in the world are the ones that have the higher number of settlers than indigenous people.
They say it is
Lagos.
Yeah, they say it's a sign of growth.
Go to Kano.
There are so many settlers.
Can you compare the period when Jalingo only had the Fulanis and the Konas and the Mumuyes?
The people that developed Jalingo in terms of structure and other things are non-indigenous.
They contributed because the indigenous also made their own contribution. Yeah. So for anywhere to develop, I think most importantly, you will find out that you have more settlers than the indigenous. And that shows that, yes, but that's notwithstanding, now the settlers or those that are coming later need to understand that you have to respect the fact that these people consider this place and legally this place belongs to them. There are some advantages that the law gives to them. They have their traditions, their cultures that must be respected. So in all this, we must learn to strike a balance between this is my land and these are my people. Let us come together and develop our land. If you don't allow people to come and live with you, there is no way you can ever develop. Go and check any city in the world. The number that is developed, the number of settlers there. Go to Beijing. Beijing, China. You will find out that most of the people in Beijing are not indigenous of Beijing. They may be Chinese, but they are not indigenous of Beijing. They come from different parts of the world to stay in Beijing. So that is just it. And that is a lesson that we all need to learn for you to develop. As long as you still have more of your indigenous in your just know that your place is still an hamlet or a village. You are not yet developed. Yes. You're a local person as far as I'm concerned.
That brings us to the next point I wanted to make. You see, normally sugar attracts ants.
Yes.
When you see settlers, in quotes, trooping to your community, it means you have something good.
Yes.
So it's normal for you to celebrate things like that, not to undermine them by claiming citizens and indigenship on places that are not actually relevant. That's one. Let me just join this one so that you respond actually. The other factor, excuse me, the other factor is that the concept of peace building has been agitated to be for stakeholders, people who have their industry sited in those places, people who have stake in the development of those places, people who have investments, not just because you are an indigene, you should be a stakeholder in negotiation of peace. What do you think?
Well, let me take the second question first. Stakeholders in any society, as they are traditional stakeholders, they are business stakeholders, they are political stakeholders. Traditionally, you may be a stakeholder because you own a traditional position or you are an indigene. Politically, you may be one of the political class. Then you also have business stakeholders. Those are those that have invested. Now, all these are all needed when we're discussing peace, because they are all stakeholders. None is less than the other. But you should also not forget that the fact that you are an indigene does not automatically makes you part of those that will be called upon to decide. As an indigene, you must also have something to offer beyond being an indigene. The same goes to political stakeholders. You don't just think that because politically you have a stake, then you ride roughshod over the indigenes or the business class. You have to ensure that. So we all have our roles to play, to be stakeholders in this peace building in our society.
Yes, we now go for another short commercial break, and we have very interesting package waiting for you when we come back. Please, you can't afford to miss it. Stay tuned.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do you do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
The cab service you can book right now in Jalingo. Sounds like a dream, right? No, it's reality. Let Supercab get you transported to anywhere you want to go in Jalingo, and let them also run your errands for you while you sit at the comfort of your home. And guess what? It is affordable, reliable and fast. They run a 24-hour service. You can click the link attached to this video to download the app, or you can also download the app on Play Store. I'm so excited for this, and I know you are too. Use Supercab today and be happy. Bye. What if I told you there's a cab service you can book?
Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC. The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC. The financial
Taraba State, let's ascend to the future. Imagine a world where entertainment, transportation, finance and commerce are at your fingertips 24/7. Welcome to the future. Taraba Business School and Taraba News proudly present a revolutionary lineup of products and services designed to transform your life. Sun TV, your premier 247 destination for local and international entertainment, news and educational content. Come to the broadcast of News Hour on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of World News on Super Media.
The two associations, Miners Association of Nigeria, Mine Focus Union of Nigeria, Taraba State chapters, and all the mineral 13 holders in Taraba State. We are saying thank you to His Excellency, and thank you to S.A. Soldier, thank you to S.A. What's your name again? President Ghana.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do you do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
Okay, viewers, you're welcome to this very interesting segment of our morning show. And my name is Olayinka Gabriel. And with me in the studio, I have some very, very important guests that will be discussing something that has been on the top burner of this state, Taraba State, talking about the issue of mining activity in Taraba State. I have with me, first by my left is Engineer Hosea Kutman. By my right, yes, Engineer Hosea Kutma Ali. Sorry for Engineer Kutma is the Federal Mining Officer for Taraba State. You're welcome to Sun TV.
Thank you very much, Mr. Presenter.
Thank you so much. I also have, by my far right, is Mr. Audu Solomon Meyaki, is a representative of the title holders in Taraba State. Mr. Solomon, you're welcome to the morning show on Sun TV. I also have by my left, Bashiru Mohammed, is the Chairman Miners Association of Nigeria, Taraba State Chapter. You're welcome, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Viewers, we're going to take a report yesterday on Taraba or on Sun TV. We had a report on the activities of this gentleman and the association. And very briefly now, we're going to take that report. And after that report, we'll go straight into the conversation. Please don't miss it.
There are two associations, Miners Association of Nigeria, Mine Focus Union of Nigeria, Taraba State chapters, and all the mineral title holders in Taraba State. We are saying thank you to His Excellency, and thank you to S.A. Soldier, thank you to S.A. what's your name again?
President Ghana.
President Ghana and S.A. Abdel Aziz for within this short notice you allow us to come and see you, to tell you thank you on behalf of all of us. We're saying thank you for that. Please, Your Excellency, all of us have said everything. We believe through these gentlemen, they are going to hear our cry and do the needful. Thank you very much. Please,
you don't have to cover judo.
Good afternoon. My name is Honorable Abdul Aziz Bilianichu, Special Advisor on Mineral Resource Development, North. And if you recall, there was a congratulatory visit from the Miners Association and Miners Workers Association, led by the Federal Mining Officer, to congratulate us on our appointment by His Excellency Dr. Kefas Abu. We welcome them all, And all of them have presented their plea as minors. But we don't want such plea to be a kind of self-centered plea, because government of Dr. Abu Kefas is a people-oriented government that most of the time takes decision that will be in favor of the government, the people, and other stakeholders in the business. So they presented their case to us in the course of the congratulatory visit. We've listened to all their pleas. But what we want you to know as media men is that government always takes decision that is good for the government, for community development, and for industry players. And that is the more reason why mining was suspended in Taraba State. And we believe every decision taken by the government will not be a permanent one. There will be some review in the course of time. And when that is done, such activities will come back into place when the government deems it necessary and beneficial. So on this note, I'd like to thank you for accompanying them. And this is the little message on behalf of my colleagues, the Special Advisor on Mineral Resource Development Central and the Special Advisor on Mineral Resource Development South, in the persons of Honorable Dantanimo Soja and Dangana Abu. I remain Honorable Abdulaziz Biliamin Shula. Thank you.
Will come back when the government. Okay, very quickly is a follow-up to that particular report, and I have the gentlemen here within our studio that will be talking about the issue of mining. If you remember, the executive governor of Taraba State, talking about Governor Abu Kefas, issued Executive Order 3 and Executive Order 2.
5.
And Executive Order 5. And by that order, the issue of mining activities in Taraba State was suspended. And since then, there has been fought and to and fought. You remember the General Faransa-led committee and the issue of stopping of illegal mining activity, the issue of degradation. And this is almost 2 years, and gentlemen are here in the studio to talk about that, and particularly what is the way forward as far as mining activity is concerned in the state. Let me start with the federal officer. What's the way forward?
Thank you very much, my dear presenter and viewers of Sun TV. We are proud to be here. Very wonderful studio. Thank you. The way forward is as simple as that. We appeal to His Excellency to please review this Executive Order 005 so that mining activity will resume back fully. And it's, like I said, it's simple in the sense that the Ministry of Solid Mineral Development, that is the ministry I'm working with, and of course the Miners Association and the mineral title holders are ready to cooperate with the state government in the way, in whatever they want the mining and the mining sector to be carried out in Taraba State. We are ready for that.
Okay, Chairman, there has been some engagement about this issue of mining. What is, because one of the fear of the state government is the issue of your members, the way they degrade land, you know, and some of this activity. So what do you think is the solution so that when this thing is lifted, we won't go back to where we are before?
Good morning, gentlemen. Yeah, the simple thing here is just the government of the state, government of the Taraba State, We want them to bring out the guideline that they said that they are going to bring,
for his money
for mining. If they brought the guideline or they bring the guideline for mining, if from there that we can see what they want and what contravenes the Mining Act or mining regulation, whereby we can see that, okay, please, let us just see all these things and sit down with them and just correct what is supposed to be corrected and then move forward.
That means your members are ready to cooperate?
Members are ready to cooperate after they bring out the guideline. But now we are just waiting for the guideline from the state government.
Okay, title holders.
Yeah.
What is the way forward?
So the way forward, as my chairman and mines officer just said, is not anyway. We are only appealing. What we are saying here is we are appealing to the state government to look into this issue and come out with a guideline quickly to enable title holders go back to their site with immediate effect. Why? Because most of the title holders, some of them has their license from the Federal Cadastral in Abuja. Some are given 2 years, some are given 5 years. And if you look at the embargo on the mining activities, when you take away somebody you are given 5 years, take away 2 years of work schedule, you know that it has become redundant. And the question is it the state government that is going to give additional 2 years, or the state government that will give additional year to the year written on the license? That is one. Then secondly is the issue of most of the title holders indebted in the sense that most of them borrowed money from various banks to carry out these activities, because you know mining activities is capital intensive, and so when the order came, all work has been penned to obey the executive order. By so, things are not going well with the miners, especially title holders, that have committed themselves by borrowing money from various banks to start up one or two things, and it is telling. So as I speak, I'm just speaking from the angle of the title holders. That is what majority of the title holders are facing. So it is ideal for me to come out and aid, so that the governor or the government of the day will look into it and reverse this Executive Order 5, so that the title holders can mobilize and go back to the site, so that, and by so doing, the GDP of the state can boost. Because mining, after agriculture, mining came second. Mining came second in terms of employment and the regs. So by doing that, if all is on deck and we are agreed with the rules and regulations of the state government, why? Because we know the issue of the national air disaster, that if you embark on mining, you know the rules and regulations. So we're waiting for the state government to bring out their rules and regulations so that miners can go back to the site.
Okay, Federal Officer. A lot of people argue that the issue of mining is in the exclusive lists, and we know things that are in the exclusive lists are supposed to be things that are exclusive rights of the federal government. How did it come about the state government suspending this activity? And what is the difference between the issue of licensing miners, and the issue of, because these other 5, as we look at it, is basically talking about the degradation of the land, which we know that maybe land based on the Land Act belong to the state government. I just wanted to balance these 2 issues. The issue of mining being in the exclusive list and the issue of the Executive Order 5.
Thank you very much. Like you initially said, mining is on the exclusive, and it's very clear about that, which means that control, regulation of mining activities is strictly to be carried out by the federal government of Nigeria. As such, whatever state government wants to do, they must be conscious of that. And all the miners that have acquired their licenses, they are aware of that before applying to get their licenses. So it's only the miners that we are taking unaware by the actions of the state governments in now coming using the Land Act to box in the title holders, which we are saying is not fair. Okay? Now, what is the way forward? The complaints that most state government do is that mining deteriorate or destroy environment. And we always tell them, or always make it very clear to them that the ministry is, this ministry has been in the system for almost 60 to 70 years. So you can't expect someone that is almost 60 to 70 years have not seen the effect of what he's doing. So what I'm saying is the ministry is very conscious, is aware of the effect of mining on the environment. As such, it has put in place departments that ensure that the environment is regulated, the environment is protected. Like we have what is called Mines Environmental Compliance Department. You can see even from the name you know that this department was put in place to ensure that the activities of these mineral title holders is carried out in a way that the environment will not be destroyed. How will they do that? That's what we call environmental impact assessment. Before you start any mining activities, you must carry that environmental impact assessment. So you should expect that no any government in this present.
But one of the problems we are faced is that it looks as if the federal government has not lived up to its responsibility in terms of this environmental impact assessment. I happen to follow the committee to some of the area, and we saw how in Akwana, in some other places, in some part of Bali, how the land has been, you could see some of the picture. Now that the miners are ready to cooperate, how will the federal government ensure that some of these things that already, because from what you say, there is already a provision for how the land will be taken care of. How is the federal government going to come in to ensure that this issue of environmental degradation is taken care of?
Thank you very much. Before I answer the question, let me clarify this too. We have illegal miners and we have legal miners. Legal miners like this, the two gentlemen that are here, can do any mining that will destroy the environment. Provision has been made that after opening excavation they've done, after exhausting the mineral that is there, they must reclaim that area. So you should know that one. So this picture they are seeing of this, maybe the places you visited, these are activities of illegal miners, not legal miners. No legal miner will carry out mining like this, as long as we are there, because we are always there to supervise what they are doing. And like I said, we have EIA. We must always supervise in conjunction with the EIA that is submitted to us. And for the illegal people, there is a task force that was put in place to control and stop this thing. Because when these illegal miners are allowed to work like that, they want to easily destroy the environment, and people will now put the blame on us. But the task force is doing its best. That is why in Taraba State we are even happy with the state government for that thing, because the task force they put in place is supposed to effect their action on illegal miners, not legal miners.
Okay, Chairman. How do you, now that your members are saying the state government should lead, how will you handle the issue? Illegal miners should be stopped, but those of you who are legally mining should be allowed to continue. How is your association going to assist in handling the issue of illegal miners?
Well, it is very simple thing now. In a simple way, the simple way, our companies, that is legal miners, will absorb those who are illegal in their own companies to be their own workers. You see, so from there, you can't see any illegal mining. But if they leave the side like this without any working there, because of the things that is happening now in the country, the hardship, that whereby people are going outside or in the absence of the activities there, then you can see people going there to go and mine something which is illegally. But if things are just okay now, as we are just appealing to His Excellency to lift up the suspension, then the miners would just, or the legal miners would just absorb those illegal, if there are any. But if there is no any illegal mining, then things will just go away without any problem.
Okay, title holders. Legal, illegal. What are you going to do to ensure that the activities of the illegal miner are stopped?
Once and foremost, thank you very much. We really appreciate His Excellency on the issue of this illegal miner by setting up a committee headed by General Faransa, retired. That committee really boosts really cope the situation seriously, because like we are seeing on the screen here, no any legal miner will carry on activities like this, because all the rules and regulations that guide it. The moment you open the land, there's a provision when you open, and there's a provision you guide, and the provision covered after assessing the mineral deposits. So there is no any right-thinking legal miner will carry out an activities like this. I think that is established. Then the issue we are appealing for the state government to look into is issue of lifting up the ban, where we can able to check the issue of this illegal and illegal. Why I'm saying this is, if an illegal miner is carrying on activities, it is the legal miner that is working on that site, because most of the times the state government cannot be going around the bush to know what is happening in the forests where they do carry out this act. It is somebody that is working close. Then already there's a provision. There's how will I put it? There is an organization committee on mining within our association that knows the legal and illegal. So I believe the state government should harmonize and work with the association to see and even give them more sight on this is legal and this is illegal, so that we can have a mutual understanding and people work freely. We are happy because they have fished out the illegal. So at least they should now allow the legal to go, so that when they go, the GDP of the state will still rise. Yes. Because if you look at it from the state is going backward. Because at least after agriculture, the next is mining. So I will plead that the state government should look at it, because most of us are indebted, as I rightly said here. So money have been tied down. Please, they should allow us to do our job, so that we too can contribute to the development of the state as well.
Okay,
Thank
sorry,
you.
our time is up. That's where we're going to stop. We from Sun TV, we call on the state government to harmonize all this together. 2 years is quite a long period of time, and it's good that we know that mining is contributing greatly to the development and particularly since the vision of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Taraba State, is to see how to improve the economy of Taraba State, and Taraba State having to be one of the mining states. So we call on His Excellency to look at how guidelines for activity can be looked at, and mining activity continue, while the task force continue to look at those who are not legally miners. We hope that this calls from the Association for the Ministry, there will be a synergy that will be put together to see how the way forward. All is in the interest and the development of Taraba State. I want to sincerely appreciate you for coming. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming. Yes.
On the last note, I want to thank His Excellency, the Governor of Taraba State, Dr. Ikefa Sabo, for appointing 3 good gentlemen to serve as advisors to him on foreign matters in Taraba State. To us, it's a good development. It shows that any moment from now, mining activity will resume in Taraba State. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Your Excellency, for appointing 3 special advisors, one for the north, one for the central, and one for the south of mining. That shows the commitment of His Excellency on the issue of mining in activity. This is where we're going to end Morning Show today on Sun TV. Morning Show comes to you every Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. like this. And it's an interesting way. We bring you a lot of programs, a lot of guests on the studio. You can always join us. We are on all the free-to-air decoders. We are on CSAT, we are on PSAT, we are on Strong. We are on all the free-to-air decoders, and also on the Nigerian NICOP SAT. You can also get us on Facebook at Sun TV. We are also on YouTube, and we are also on Infotex. I remained your host this morning, Olayinka Gabriel. See you on Monday on another edition of the Morning Show. But remember that we still have a lineup of program for you today. Sun TV is available 24 hours. We bring you a series of program, and interesting one. See you again, and goodbye for now.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have